Welcome, and thank you for taking the time to learn more about PennDOT's Bayfront Parkway Central Corridor Improvement Project. The City of Erie is experiencing a resurgence of private and public sector development and investment in its downtown and on the waterfront. In the heart of these developments lies the Bayfront Parkway. Since the early 1990s, the Parkway has served as an east-west connection. With ongoing and planned development, the need for greater north-south connectivity between the waterfront and Erie's downtown and residential neighborhoods is growing. Feasibility studies and collaboration with stakeholders and the community pointed for the need for upgrades to pedestrian and bicyclist amenities as well as a more efficient roadway for all users. The Bayfront Parkway Central Corridor improvements addresses those needs and will provide the infrastructure needed to support the growth of the region. This presentation will provide an update on the Bayfront Parkway project, including plans and renderings of the proposed intersection improvements and pedestrian bridge at Holland Street, the anticipated construction sequence, and updates on several ancillary projects. Additional information for the project can be found on our project website at www.bayfrontparkwayproject.com, including a short online comment form that we encourage everyone to complete. All of the material presented during this presentation, as well as this presentation itself, will be available on the project website, so please feel free to review at your convenience. The proposed improvements included in this first phase of the project consist of reconfiguring 3 intersections along the Bayfront Parkway, located at Holland Street, State Street, and Sassafras Street Extension. Plans also include improvements to the multi-use trail network, construction of a pedestrian bridge at Holland Street, and enhanced green space and landscaping within the project limits. The proposed improvements were selected to address the project's needs, which are focused on enhancements to pedestrian, bicycle, transit, and passenger vehicle connections, increasing the safety of all users, and improving the operation and efficiency through the corridor. We will break it down into the proposed improvements associated at each intersection. At Holland Street, a proposed multi-lane roundabout will replace the existing signalized intersection. Dual-lane approaches will be provided along the Bayfront Parkway as well as the northbound approach of Holland Street. A single-lane approach will be provided in the southbound direction of Holland Street, where a pedestrian crosswalk is proposed. The crosswalk will be raised slightly to enhance the visibility of pedestrians to approaching drivers, and a refuge area within the median will allow pedestrians to cross one direction of traffic at a time. Sidewalks will be constructed along the north side of the Bayfront Parkway and along Holland Street. A cable-stay pedestrian bridge, proposed on the east side of the intersection, will connect the residential bluff to the waterfront. Here are some renderings from various perspectives of the Holland Street intersection. The roundabout center island will receive a gateway treatment, welcoming those to Erie's Bayfront. Landscaping will be placed within the median and splitter islands to not only enhance visual appeal, but also to promote infiltration of stormwater. Next, here are renderings of the cable-stay pedestrian bridge at Holland Street from various perspectives. On the south side, or the elevated bluff side, sidewalk approaches from Holland Street and East Front Street will allow users to approach the bridge from either direction to cross the Bayfront Parkway. On the north side, or the lake side, the path will gently ramp down to provide access to the Bayfront Bikeway and other amenities along the waterfront. Here are a few additional views of the pedestrian bridge from a closer perspective. Protective railings with integrated lighting will enhance the safety of its users while providing a streamlined appearance. The wood planking concrete formliners, in conjunction with the mast and cables, emulate the tall ships that frequent the bay. Landscaped seating areas will be included to enhance the pedestrian experience. At State Street, a grade-separated intersection is proposed to replace the existing signalized intersection. The outside travel lanes of the Bayfront Parkway will be lowered to pass beneath State Street at a similar elevation to the existing railroad tracks, which will be removed. The inside travel lanes of the Bayfront Parkway will form a traditional signalized intersection with full access to and from State Street. Since approximately 80% of the current Bayfront Parkway vehicular traffic passes straight through the State Street intersection today, placing these through travel lanes beneath State Street will improve safety and multimodal access across the Bayfront Parkway. The pedestrian crossings will receive a significant upgrade as the distance traveled across the Bayfront Parkway will be reduced from approximately 86 feet to 31 feet. Sidewalks are also proposed on all quadrants of the intersection to enhance connectivity. The Erie Western PA Port Authority has recently begun construction of the West Front Street improvements, which will improve the connections between Sassafras Street and State Street located north of the Bayfront Parkway. Here are renderings of the State Street intersection from an aerial view as well as a viewpoint of a pedestrian. Green space will be provided in all four quadrants of the elevated intersection. Overlooks with seating areas will be provided on the north side of the intersection and will be a great place to take in the spectacular sunset over the bay. Here are some additional views of the State Street intersection. Landscaping will be provided throughout the corridor and at the intersection, which will enhance the experience of all users. The missing link of the trail network between State Street and Holland Street will also be provided. At Sassafras Street Extension, a proposed multi-lane roundabout will replace the existing signalized intersection. Dual lane approaches will be provided along the Bayfront Parkway, and a single lane approach will be provided in the southbound direction of Sassafras Street Extension, where a pedestrian crosswalk is proposed. The crosswalk will be raised slightly to enhance the visibility of pedestrians to approaching drivers, and a refuge area within the median will allow pedestrians to cross one direction of traffic at a time. Sidewalks are proposed along the north side of the Bayfront Parkway and along Sassafras Street Extension. The Erie Western PA Port Authority has recently begun a construction of the Sassafras Street sidewalk improvements, which will improve the pedestrian connection between the residential bluff and the waterfront. Here are renderings illustrating the improvements to the Sassafras Street intersection. Similar to the Holland Street roundabout, the center island will receive a gateway treatment welcoming those to Erie's Bayfront. A rain garden will be constructed at this intersection to mitigate stormwater rate and volume and enhance water quality. In addition, the existing retaining wall will be repainted and landscaping will be planted at its base to soften its appearance. Since the project involves the reconfiguration of several urban intersections located near each other, the improvements must be constructed over several stages to ensure pedestrian, bicycle, and vehicular access can be maintained to all properties and businesses. At this time, it is anticipated 6 primary stages of construction will be required. The first stage includes the construction of the Sassafras roundabout. During the second stage, the eastbound lanes of the Bayfront Parkway will be constructed. In the third stage, work begins on the southern and northern portions of State Street and the bridge carrying State Street over the Bayfront Parkway. During the fourth stage, the southern half of the Holland roundabout will be constructed. Work on the ramps to State Street will also begin. The fifth stage includes the completion of the Holland roundabout as well as the pedestrian bridge. The sixth stage includes the completion of the Bayfront Parkway, the State Street intersection, and the ramps to State Street, as well as final landscaping and project cleanup activities. As noted, the project will be constructed in several stages to ensure access to all properties and businesses are maintained at all times. While each of the intersections are under construction, the other adjacent intersections will be utilized to ensure both pedestrian and vehicular traffic can be maintained. In this exhibit, the work zone for construction stages 1, 2, and 3 are shown along with their respective detours. Appropriate signing, protective fencing, and cane-detectable barricades will be in place to ensure safe passage around the work areas. In this exhibit, the work zone for construction stages 4, 5, and 6 are shown along with their respective pedestrian and vehicular detours. Traffic along the Bayfront Parkway is anticipated to be maintained throughout all construction stages, with the exception of weekend closures during beam erection for the State Street Bridge and associated ramp structures. All projects, including the Bayfront Parkway Central Corridor improvements, must be designed and constructed in compliance with all local, state, and federal environmental regulations. Coordination with environmental regulatory agencies such as Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and the Erie County Conservation District is required, and these entities have reviewed and approved this project's design and will remain engaged during construction to ensure all permit requirements are being followed. The project team obtained an individual National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permit, or NPDES permit, which focused on stormwater management during and after construction. During construction, various devices such as compost filter sock and inlet filter bags will be utilized to ensure sediment from disturbed areas is contained and stormwater is filtered prior to being discharged. Following construction, permanent stormwater facilities such as rain gardens and vegetated swales will ensure stormwater runoff rates and volumes are equal to or less than pre-construction conditions. These facilities will also filter contaminants to improve water quality and will promote the infiltration of stormwater before discharging into receiving waterways. The project team also obtained a general permit GP7, which was required for the minor impacts to existing wetlands located within the project footprint. There are several ancillary projects that will complement the Bayfront Parkway Central Corridor improvements. The construction of the new bridge over the railroad tracks at the Soldiers and Sailors Home that eliminated the existing at-grade crossing and accommodates the CSX railroad track modification project was completed in the spring of 2022. A total of 22 traffic signals along 12th Street from I-79 to the East Bayfront Parkway are currently being modified or replaced to enhance safety and efficiency along that corridor. That project will also include the installation of Intelligent Transportation System signs, or ITS signs, on I-79 and the East Bayfront Parkway to provide real-time traffic information and weather conditions to motorists entering the city. The East Bayfront Parkway and Safety Improvement Project will enhance pedestrian and driver safety from the intersection with Port Access Road and East Bay Drive to 12th Street. The Erie Western PA Port Authority is undertaking a project involving reconstruction of West Front Street between Sassafras Street Extension and State Street to improve travel within the waterfront property, and the construction of multi-use paths for greater pedestrian and bicycle connections. Lastly, the Erie Western PA Port Authority is also constructing sidewalk and improving roadway conditions along Sassafras Street, which will improve the pedestrian connection between the residential bluff and the waterfront. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about PennDOT's Bayfront Parkway Central Corridor Improvement Project. The foundation of this project is creating a stronger connection between the City of Erie and the waterfront to ensure it is a valuable community asset for years to come. Your feedback is an important part of making that happen. As previously mentioned, please take a moment to complete the online comment form located at the project website at www.bayfrontparkwayproject.com. Public feedback is always accepted on the project website or by contacting Tom McClellan, the PennDOT project manager, using the contact information provided. Thank you again.